had candidate numbers, and so we use the candidate number.
As opposed
So that just to provide a little layer of privacy. I mean, anyone can request the applications for that and candidate 806 is, right? But we don't typically do that. But yeah, it does create kind of an awkward situation here.
I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Council Board and Commission Appointments Committee for Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. I am Julie Hoy, the mayor.
Deanna Gwynn.
Shane Matthews.
Vanessa Nordyke.
Awesome.
And our alternate, Linda Nishioka, is present.
Thank you very much. Okay, city staff, do you want to introduce yourselves for the record?
My name is Gretchen Bennett, and I work in community services and mayor and city manager's office.
Dan Atchison, city attorney.
I'm Linda Rose. I'm the executive assistant to the mayor.
Okay, so do we have any public comment? We do. Oh, wonderful. Hello, Jonathan.
Go now?
Welcome. Sure.
All right.
Come on up.
Well, I guess for the audience there, my name is Jonathan Castle-Monroy. I've been a Salem resident since I was 7 years old. So thank you for, first of all, I like Salem. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. The purpose of my presence today is really to formally introduce you to the idea of establishing a City of Salem Hispanic Advisory Commission. As it stands, nearly 1 in 4 Salem residents is Hispanic. In our Salem County School District, the majority are now Hispanic. And in some neighborhoods, the Hispanic community is the heart of the community. Yet too often, our voices are simply not at the table. They're not part of the table when decisions are made. So I feel like I'm talking.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, and the City of Salem Hispanic Advisory Commission, or whatever it ends up being called, would ultimately provide a voice for the Hispanic community. Now that really matters because the Hispanic community is Salem's fastest growing population that will ultimately shape the future of this community. Tomorrow's workforce, tomorrow's businesses, and tomorrow's civic life too, okay? But despite that reality, the Hispanic community is simply not engaged. I've served on various boards and commissions since I was 19, and so over a decade, stopped my service in about 2 years. And during that time frame, I can count the other Hispanics that served along with me in one hand. It's not a lot in over a decade. With that said, the ultimate purpose of the Hispanic Advisory Commission would be to give direct insights into city leaders on the priorities of the community. It would create trust with the Hispanic families, but more importantly, it would create a bridge between the city and the Hispanic community. Because as it stands right now, there are 2 worlds living in Salem. And I know this firsthand because I walk into both worlds on a daily basis, okay? So my goal today is not really to identify the components or to land on the structure of the commission, although I will give you some recommendations from my end. You can take the best, leave the rest, up to you, you're in control. The goal today really is to start having the conversations and ultimately take the initial steps to make this a reality. You're in control. You have a unique privilege to really give the voice to what I would describe as the largest underrepresented group in Salem. And you will make history because this will happen eventually, and it's up to you if it happens sooner or later, and make history while you're at it. Because in the future, people will look back one day and say, thank you. Thank you for giving my community a voice. So thank you for having me. I'm here. I'm ready to help, ready to collaborate in any way I can. Thank you for your service, counselors. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And we're here to make Salem better. And I'll give you my thoughts here.
Are you up for any questions if anyone has?
I'm here. Yeah, I'll stick around.
Anyone have anything?
You might want to review this because some of your questions may be answered here.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Lloyd? did you want-
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I invited Jonathan to come here today. I love the idea, candidly, of a Hispanic Advisory Commission. If you look at other cities across the nation, we would certainly not be the first to have a Hispanic Advisory Commission, but I certainly don't want us to be the last. I think Jonathan is absolutely correct that with a quarter of our population and rapidly growing, our Hispanic community deserves a seat at the table. So I encouraged him to come today. I put this on our agenda for our consideration and discussion. Jonathan's very passionate about this issue, but I also feel that he can, first of all, I couldn't put it any better than you put yourself, so thank you so much. But I also love that he has identified a potential roadmap for us. And I would just hope that our committee would be interested in taking this forward and exploring further. And this is, of course, the appropriate place to initiate this conversation. Anyone who's on Boards and Appointments Committee knows that we are creating a leadership pipeline. A lot of folks who serve in our committees end up running for council or running for other office, or it helps build your own professional development in any field. So these are more of a comments than a question. But Jonathan, would you be available to answer our questions today, but if we have questions as to process and structure, if this committee chooses to move forward with it, would you be available to advise us if we move forward?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The reason why I haven't chosen another city board or commission to serve on is because I like to be a part of making this a reality after obtaining feedback from the different corners of our community.
Great. Anybody else?
How would we move forward if we wanted to?
I can speak a little bit to that, Counselor. Of course, it's ultimately a city council decision
Sure.
that modifies Salem Revised Code to create and form a new board or commission. I think considerations may include the recent governance work that you all did with formerly Moss Adams, where you examined kind of a broader process for how will we want to evaluate the different ideas that come forward for new boards or commissions? How do you want to evaluate whether to sunset one? So maybe taking it in that broader context. And I know we anticipate a report coming with some updates on that governance work soon to council. So that would be one thought. Also in relation to this, there's considerations of identifying capacity to be able to support and manage from a staff perspective the board or commission. So considering that. Others have talked, Jonathan and I have talked before about the existence of our Human Rights Commission and if or whether there's interplay there, given the hope and intention of that commission to also be of service in this space. So I might offer those as thoughts, but I think it's ultimately perhaps looking at it in the context of that governance staff report that'll come your way before long.
I don't know how anyone else feels, but I would hate to water this down by putting them under, or a part of, I mean, I understand Human Rights Commission, but it seems like this should be their own standalone. That's just me personally.
I agree with you, Councilor.
Kind of on that, and maybe it's just, we're not in the weeds necessarily, we're not supposed to be about how the commission works or what their exact focus fully is or is going to be, or what things would filter through them, but can someone give me maybe John, maybe the best one, but can I give me a higher level of what's the difference here in what this group would be able to do that the Human Rights Commission is currently able to do or equipped?
Got it. That was a great question. I've actually chaired the City of Salem Human Rights Commission at some point back in the day when I was a teenager. Or
He did, he was so good, by the way. He was a very young man. He was a teenager and he was chair. I had the privilege to be his staff liaison. It is a wonderful thing. Yeah.
So first of all, you first have to have the right players in the room. And what I mean by that is you have to have a diverse group of Hispanic leaders. You gotta have leaders who've been there since day one. You gotta have the leaders that represent the various corners of the Hispanic community. Okay, that's the first thing. Why? Why is that important? Because they are your influencers. You're going to leverage them to reach the masses in the Hispanic community, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is this will be in Spanish. Hopefully, if we can, if city allows, this will be in Spanish. Now you're meeting the community where they are at. And the reality, the ones who really are left out, who have no say in the Hispanic, in the city, are those who don't speak the language. They'll never go to anything, right? So the language is really important. The next step in this, you have to have listening sessions. I'm not saying you create a Hispanic neighborhood association, but something of the like, where you can leverage your influencers and bring, I guarantee you, we get the right people in this commission, will bring the biggest attendance than any other association in the city. That I can guarantee you, okay? That's important right there. Then the next step in that is listening. What are the priorities of the community, right? What's going well? What are the challenges? So not necessarily human rights, because the human rights doesn't talk about what's going well or what they like to see for engagement, because that's the other component to this, engaging the Hispanic community, right? Engaging, getting them to show up. Furthermore, support initiatives like Viva Salem. Again, that's not a human rights topic, and Viva Salem is one example of various potential events where you can leverage this commission for engagement and also, connect the city again with the Hispanic community. And there's more examples of that, but I don't want to take over the meeting.
No, that makes sense. I think that was actually really helpful for me to be able to differentiate a little bit with the two committees.
Yeah, I mean, what I would also do in the like, for example, when I was at the Human Rights Commission, my biggest thing was like, why are we here? I was more punk back then, but I would say, why are we here if no one knows that we exist? The real people that need to know we exist, the most vulnerable members of our community, don't know we exist. That's what I would say at the Human Rights Commission. So then that led to creating a liaison program where we identified the organizations that actually cater to the most vulnerable community members that need to know we exist, right? So we take a similar approach, such as, making sure we have even a flyer, promotional flyer in every single Hispanic business or nonprofit or gathering place so that people start seeing the message, right? And inviting them to,
Yeah, I like it. That sounds great.
I think that's a great question, Councilor Matthews, and to me, when I think of some of the differences between HRC and what HAC might be, is that, talking about public safety, talking about how to engage Spanish business owners, making sure that they're aware, because we have a lot of special programs to support businesses in the community. We have our URA money, there's capital improvement dollars, there's all kinds of things that impact our business community. And I love the idea of having Latino business leaders have a seat at the table to help advise that. During the pandemic, I was brand new in my term. I had just gotten elected to council in 2020. Actually, no, I was still running when the pandemic began. It was March of 2020. And during that pandemic, there was a fast and furious effort to take pass-through dollars and make sure local businesses knew about these opportunities to help stay alive financially. And to me, there's always more we can do to make sure all business owners, whether they speak English as their first language or not, to make sure that they know about Salem is open for business. We want to work with you. If you have permitting questions, I remember, I think it was last year, but we had a tree permitting issue, right? Where there was a Spanish-speaking gentleman who trimmed up some trees and he got caught, kind of aware, he got fined severely. And there was that was an opportunity to build trust and make sure that a lot of people don't know that if you trim a tree, that's gonna be a very expensive tree trim. And so I just think of that as an example of, we're always learning. We do have bilingual members in our community, the customer service. We have customer service folks for that. But again, to Jonathan's point, we need to know that we exist, we meaning the advisory commission, and that the city wants to make sure they have a seat at the table. So I don't know, those are just some of the thoughts I had. That's why I was so excited when Jonathan brought the idea to me.
That sounds great.
It's been very evident to me in Ward 6, living there and being there and having business there, and in Ward 5 as well, that there's a disconnect. And it's not helped by the fact that it's city, county, properties out there. So I could see this as a real opportunity to develop communications with the county business owners as well, to sort of lift up the collective voice. I felt that kind of a disparity between the downtown business group, what's it called, the downtown
The Downtown Advisory Board or
Thank
Main
you.
Street?
Yeah, and Main Street, that there was a real ability to communicate with one another and create a gathering and invite the city to come and hear what they had to say. We don't have that in Northeast Salem. We have a communication disconnect. And I wanted the Northeast Salem business owners to have an opportunity to gather, and they did, fortunately, but I think it could be so much greater if there was a place to come for information, to come together for neighborhood meetings, whether your business is in the county or in the city, to
Right.
become educated. So,
Right, and also to families too, because beyond business, the families, they love to go to a celebration where there's gonna be food and music playing, and the city is at the forefront. I think it's good for the community.
anything else?
So at this point, well, anyway, I would love to move to, if there are no more questions, Madam Mayor, this is your meeting. Do we want to discuss this now, or would you prefer to discuss it later in the meeting as an agenda item? Kind of feels like we're already talking about it. I'd love to
I
explore
turned it
next
down for
steps.
that. Should it be a part of a council meeting where we make a motion?
I think at
and-
this point, maybe this committee might want to have further discussions on it if we're going forward. Alternatively, you can have staff bring back a report with the proposed motion or recommendation.
Well, I would be prepared to make a motion to direct our staff. I think it'd be appropriate if this board is interested to have a committee motion to direct the city staff to work with Jonathan Castro Monroy on just looking at what this could look like, how this would address staff capacity.
Impact, yeah.
Yeah, we always have to look at how this impacts our staff. We don't know how spread thin they are, but I would be inclined to, at this time, I would move to direct city staff to explore a Hispanic Advisory Commission and to come back to this committee with a report and a roadmap for how that might go and what a code amendment might look like.
I would second that.
Beat me too. If that's sufficient, as stated. Okay, great. Well, we have a motion and a second by Gwen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank
Okay,
you.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jake, are you staying?
Any more questions? Then I'm gonna head out to my next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thanks for your passion and your commitment to the community, Jonathan. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, well, hey, this community has made me. Came here not speaking English, and here I am communicating to you in English and raising a family, making Salem my home. I like to think of it as my home away from home, my adopted mother. So thank you all for making that, supporting that, and serving as city councilors.
Awesome.
We'll
Thank
be
you
in
so
touch.
much. All right, then. We are moving on to the discussion items, applications for consideration to the following boards and commissions. Ms. Linda Rose, I think you're gonna carry us through this.
Well, I'll do my best, yes. The paper packets, like the electronic packets that I sent you, well, they attempted to be in alphabetical order like the electronic versions I sent via email, but it didn't quite go as well as the paper packets, the old-fashioned paper. These are in alphabetical order, so we're starting with what the agenda notes here, that the Airport Advisory Commission, and there are 2 applications for a full-term position representing Ward 2. So if you had had an opportunity to look at those. I believe,
The 2 applicants,
yes,
both from Ward 2.
yes,
Is this a Word 2 specific position?
yes, this is the Ward 2 specific position. If I have control. Are you guys just reviewing this for the first time?
Yes, candidly, yes, I am.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, in reviewing their applications, I mean, both are quite quite qualified. One is one of the candidates it says he's been in the airline industry for years. He worked in flight kitchen services with an interesting background. His father did air freight. So I find that's interesting. That's definitely more of a
Airport
specific service, no question. So.
And that person was my
Mhm.
number one pick out of the two.
The other candidate doesn't have airport specific or airline or aviation experience, but they've definitely been involved in a variety of other community initiatives, Neighborhood Watch, DARE program, police community service, work to promote safety, educate youth about drug prevention. Again, did that applicant, Linda, apply for multiple positions or was it specific to the airport advisory?
It was specific to airport advisory.
Mhm.
Like the second applicant, the one that like they have a lot of just, I don't know, it seems like facility management and supply management, which, I mean, I kind of like in that aspect. I mean, a lot of what our airports do now is food service related. So both of them can have.
I can say that the second applicant on the list here did follow up with me. That's one thing I can say.
Mr. City Attorney, would it be appropriate to ask Councilor Michioka for input
Sure.
on these candidates? It's your board.
Thank you very much. I actually approached Judith. I know her personally. She's the second applicant on here. When I was at the airport advisory board meeting, the chair was saying, we need Ward 2. Would you recommend anybody or would you ask people? And there's only one other female on it. And so I was trying to increase that diversity in the group. And I also felt that Judith would be somebody very interested in participating with the city. And she does have all of this management experience. It's more of a role. There's pilots, there's a lot of already people that are in the industry, one might say, and she is not, but I know that she is very interested, as she is interested in potentially getting her pilot's license, and so I felt that it was a good fit for her to get involved, and again, with all of the management experience she's had, I thought it might be a good fit. I don't know the other applicant.
I'm thinking about where we are at the airport right now, what we're currently experiencing and the position that we're in and what might be best for Finley, and growing the airport in a positive direction. And for some reason, the experience near at SeaTac seems appealing to me, that there's something outside of this area that might have a fresh perspective on
So is that Judith?
No,
Chris.
Chris.
Oh,
I love that his email is Superman. Chris Reeves.
Okay. It's a Hotmail account. We don't deduct points for that.
Wow, I didn't even notice. I was looking at the iCloud thinking the same thing. That's funny.
It's a red flag. I'm just kidding.
That's just my 2 cents worth.
Honestly, I'm good with both of them. I feel like they both bring something. I do like the diversity aspect for Judith Kiss and just not having other female members certainly on there. But I do hear what you're saying. Like, and I think even more than for me, the SeaTac part is, the father being an air freight for Hughes Air West, Republic Airlines, Northwest Airlines. I don't know how much that'll play into, but air freight when it comes into our facility, it brings money in. So there's not a negative side if there's some sort of focus on that in the future. So I think either one seems like a good out.
Well, in the interest of moving us along,
Yes.
I move that we appoint Judith Kitts. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting something.
Did you have any
Is there a
input?
second?
Second? Is that from you? Shannon? Okay, so Councilor Matthews with a second on that? All those in favor?
I was really leaning towards Chris, so.
That's what happens when there's a tie.
No, that's,
If you wanted to pull back the vote, you can have more discussion before you vote.
yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Deliberate for the vote.
A little more deliberation?
Or not.
I mean, honestly, I mean, I feel like I'm sort of the problem child here because I could go with either one.
You are always. the
I know,
problem.
if Chris Reeves had been the one that had been brought up first, I also would have voted positive on that. I think both of these would be solid candidates.
I agree.
And I think that I think the diversity aspect is the part that's leaning me towards Judith a little bit more, but, and that's almost not a fair comparison because, you know, at the end of the day, I still think Chris would make a great board member too, so.
Gretchen, did you have anything to add?
I
Did
was-
staff
I was
make a
gonna note-
recommendation? Because sometimes they do.
I don't believe they did, but
Okay.
my thought, this is the Ward 2 position as opposed to an airline specific position, so
Mm,
perhaps someone who's not involved in
Would be
airline
good for the
industry
neighborhood.
might balance that better.
Yeah, I like that, Dan, and I do appreciate the fact that she's a woman and it is a very male-heavy group. It would be nice to have neighborhood perspective and yeah. So I'm all for Judith. Shall we go ahead and make
Vote
that
again.
motion again? Shall we vote again?
If there's no further deliberation, I mean, it's a male-dominated profession, for
Right.
sure. I mean, when I toured the airport, some pilots a few years ago, they told me there's maybe 8% of professional commercial pilots are female.
Hmm.
It's an industry that, yeah, it's been lopsided for a long time, for what that's worth. So I just thought I'd throw out that little bit of trivia while on the subject of gender dynamics.
Next up, Budget Committee, we received one application for Ward 3, so I nabbed it and I'm bringing it to you.
And there's one opening.
And there's one opening for Ward 3, so
I move that that Jennifer Murray be selected as our budget committee member for Ward 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Matthews. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. Passes.
easy.
It's done right there.
Okay.
That
was easy.
All right.
Bring that energy to the next council.
Absolutely.
Wow. Oh, that got speed.
Are we-
Next up is the Center 50 Plus Advisory Commission. They have several vacancies, as you can see. The first is 3 full-term positions for persons representing the community members over 50. And then there are 3 positions with no term limits for partners representing Salem Electric, Schenectady Community College, and a faith community or business organization. Oftentimes, the director of Center 50 Plus, Marilyn Daly, works in the community quite a lot, as you know, and she is able to kind of find those people out there who work in those different organizations and bring them forward to you for consideration. So I don't believe within these, we may have one application that would fit the bill for one of those, but the positions for persons representing community members over 50 is primarily what I believe you would be considering here today.
I do have a question. Mike Morrow's application, he
Yes.
says he submitted it for Center 50. But when I read through, and I know Mike, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to consider him for this, but most of his comments seem aimed towards what he did on advisory commission. I wish I would have seen a little more on. But, well, in fact, it even says, I've enjoyed, under page 2, what prompted your interest. I've enjoyed my first term of service and look forward to a second term. I'm wondering if maybe he didn't update, because it sounds like, is he trying to reapply for airport advisory?
Well, he was on the Airport Advisory Commission. Can we
Yeah.
pull that up, Gretchen?
It's just his application is a little
Yeah.
unclear as to whether he's
Yeah.
really trying to apply for Center 50 plus or whether
See,
he's trying to get a new
he's
term.
terming out of the Airport Advisory Commission not until 2027.
Okay.
So, and you can serve on 2. The
Sure.
only one you can't serve on both with, as you well know, is the Budget Committee. So he seems to be interested in doing both. Do you?
I don't have anything. else to
Okay, you
add.
were looking at me like
Oh,
you had
sorry.
something to say. No, just listening, just listening. Yeah.
I just want to make sure he really wants to be on Center 50 plus, since it wasn't really clear from his application.
You could choose to approve pending a reconfirmation with him, like you meant C50 and not just airport, right?
So did he apply for both then?
Well, he's already been on the Airport Advisory Commission now. He's in the middle of his second term. He's been on it for quite a long time.
And so this kind of happened last time with some of our applications too. And it's leading me to believe that there's some sort of flaw in our IT situation here, because so if he goes and applies for Center 50 plus, right? At no point should our decision tree on our website say, question applies to Advisory Airport Commission. The Airport Advisory Commission has a number of membership requirements for specific positions. Please indicate if you meet the following
Yeah,
criteria.
that's a fair
So
point.
How would that question have ever come up if he was applying for the
C50.
right?
Yeah,
And so,
right.
so I think there's an IT issue, and this kind of was a similar problem I think we had last time. we had some of those questions.
I apologize, that's not addressed. We'll get into that.
For the Deanna, she is a CEO for professional interpreters, so would she qualify as a business?
It sounds like that's a distinct possibility. Again, I should confirm that maybe with Marilyn.
And her, when we are talking about diversity, I like that. She was, her reference, one of her references was Jerry Miranda.
Who's Jerry Miranda?
He's a pastor at the church out on Corton Road. I can't remember the name of it. But I've known of Mr. Miranda for many years. I don't know Deanna, although, I mean, the name's not bad, right? So, but I would
Points for the
love,
name for sure.
I mean, if we're needing a business representative, I'd like to think about that. Kathleen Lemke, she's
Yeah.
from Ward 4.
She
and
knows
we
her
know
Southgate.
Yeah, she knows her,
I love
you
her.
know her from South Gateway. I would definitely want, and she's a go-getter. She sets her sights on something and she will go to work for it. So I would love to see Kathleen on that.
Agreed.
Is Raymond Kelly retired? Or
He is the gentleman who met you that day at the American Legion conference.
okay.
Yeah, what was it, this spring, just a couple, 3 months ago.
I liked that he had on his that his employer's Medicare. And I thought, is that a good thing? Like,
Yeah,
could
it
be a
looks like he's an
resource?
insurance agent, so I'm wondering, that's again, he's the broker owner, so would that be on the business side?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, so
You can
that
fill
could
that
be
role.
two
Mhm.
on the business side.
So are these, do we make individual motions for each one, or do you make a bulk
Block.
motion?
I think you can do it both.
You can do either way, if you want to just do it as a slate.
I mean, Dan, wouldn't it be up to them if they wanted to appoint to the business position? If they wanted to, of these people who are, you know,
If the applicants qualify for that position, sure.
if they're business owners or.
Well, that would be on
Yeah.
staff to determine, right, whether that criteria is met.
We've done it before. We look at the form and like, yep, that's a business owner.
Yeah.
And then we put them in that position. And in prior years on this committee that I've served on it, I mean, you get a lot of these weirdly specific requirements. And there are
Right.
some times where you have to be really strategic, like, well, if we put them in this role, then our at-large or our no unrestricted position is available for another person to serve. So you should definitely be, look at their, and we usually accept what they put in their application at face value.
Perfect.
I mean, it's like, it'd be ridiculous if we had to vet and like, reference check every person. That would just be too onerous.
I can speak personally for Deanna Tapia.
Oh,
She is a fabulous interpreter. She's a high energy
All right.
person. I believe she would be a magnet for more the Hispanic population involvement.
I think that's an excellent idea, and I feel that Maryland has added bilingual staff, but I think that's definitely an area where they could continue to grow their engagement for sure.
And she's interpreted for me several times.
Oh, really?
And it's just so natural. It's because I fly into Spanish sometimes and back into English, and she just follows me,
Nice.
goes with the flow and keeps smiling.
So far, I'm kind of writing up a proposed slate as we go. I've got Kathy and Deanna on my proposed slate, if that's helpful.
I also like Raymond Kelly.
Raymond Kelly,
because-
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I feel like him actually being part of the, kind of employer of Medicare Life and more in that insurance aspect. I would, like, as he says, just think a better pulse. Life over 50, but also just all of his clients. I think there's some legitimacy there.
well, and I think Lisa Haynes, because Marilyn Daly is one of her references, so if Marilyn, did Marilyn give any input on any of,
I don't think we heard back.
oh, okay.
Do we ask references? Is that how that usually works?
Yeah.
Or is that just if
There-
we
it's
choose to
on the-
ask references?
It's on the application.
I know, but do we actually follow up on references?
Oh,
It would depend, the liaison may in some cases, counselor members may in some cases, but there's not a
Okay,
formal path for that.
gotcha, okay.
Counselor Glenn, I agree. Lisa Haynes looks great. I do have a technical question though. She gives a residency of Kaiser. Is that a problem? Do you have to be a
I would-
Salem resident?
is Center 50 Plus exclusive to Salem?
Let me check the code real quick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
I mean, because everything else looks amazing. I mean, she works in hospice.
Well, and Catherine
and
Murray is
Alzheimer's.
also from Kaiser, so that would eliminate two.
Well, I was just.
Let's hope not.
I think I saw that when I was reviewing the packet, and I believe that's okay. It doesn't require them to be Salem residents. It talks about the community.
Live, work, or play.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I mean, if someone wants to Kaiser thing's not an issue, but I guess that is an issue for both of them. I'd be happy with Lisa, and for the same reasons I kind of talked about. So the fact that I think just having
I think
a
a
better pulse on the community and what's going on in that 50+ community in District 7, of being able to say, this is something that's happening.
and her work in hospice. I think is-
So that just leaves us with Mike and Catherine as far as our third appointment. Right, 'cause we've got 2 for business. We have 6 openings, 2 for business.
No Chemeketa rep and no Salem Electric rep.
Right.
That is so oddly specific. I feel like when
Weird.
Moss Adams comes back, I don't know if that's one of the many things we're addressing, but in prior years, this committee has talked about the fact that That's just so specific. You're eliminating lots of people who would love to serve because Salem Electric. I don't get it. Like, that makes.
I get Shemeka.
So
Right.
it's not
I kinda
specific to
get it.
Salem Electric. Its partners include Chemeketa Community College, Northwest Senior Disability Services, Friends of the Senior Center, Marion Polk Food Share, Alzheimer's Association, Oregon Chapter, Salem Electric, representative from the healthcare industry, or representative from either the faith community or business community.
Okay, it's just the way, the way it's worded on our screen, with special membership requirements, I misinterpreted that. Still a little weird.
Oh, I see what happened. That must have referenced what it was in the past, but to Dan's
Oh,
point,
there you go,
it's,
yeah.
you've got that broader
Yeah,
from which you can mix around.
So
I
my
see.
question would be, does it have to be like Catherine works at Church of the Park? So she's a receptionist there, but still she's at Church of the Park, so.
So let me read the section of the code here. So it's 15 total members, 7 commission members shall be persons drawn from the community at large. 6 of the 7 community members shall be 50 years of age or older at the time of their appointment. The 8 other community members shall be representatives of Center 50+ partners. A partner is a community agency that has a shared mission and vision with Center 50+, and has both an in-kind and financial investment in the shared and the success of the shared programming that exists at Center 50+ or throughout the community.
This middle tab
There's a little bit more gloss on that, but this, in that list I gave you of those partners, that says partners include, so it could be other partners if you feel that whatever agency they're with shares the mission, vision, and values of Center 50+.
But do they also have a financial stake in it? Is that what I heard there though?
Not in Center 50+, they have to have a financial stake in financial investment in the success of shared programming that exists at Center 50+ or throughout the community. So if they are investing, spending money on programming that is aimed at seniors, then yes, I would think.
So, okay, so like by that concept, I guess, tell me if this is too broad. So like I have to look in here again, but for the guy that's the Medicare insurance agent, right? He's gonna do his own marketing to increase his, obviously, success. But ultimately, is there an argument to be had that that's beneficial for the community, or is that really just beneficial for his market?
So he's an insurance agent.
That's what I think. That's-
Yeah.
I wouldn't call a private insurance company a community partner with Center 50+.
But
He may
he's
have
a,
he may have a personal interest in helping seniors through his agency, but it's not
he could be on the business owner part, right?
right.
Okay,
Which is the pile I had him in.
okay.
I'm trying to remember, I know Church of the Park has a young person's shelter for ages 18 to 24. Do they have a 55+? I know they had talked about having one, but.
For Church of the Park, that's the Center Street is seniors.
Okay, I
Yeah,
mean,
right?
It's not exclusive to
that's not
seniors,
like-
but it's predominantly seniors who live there.
well, what I'm trying, and the reason why I asked that is, and I'm wondering if the receptionist at Church of the Park could qualify under the partners group.
That's what I was thinking.
That's kind of, I mean, they absolutely serve seniors. I mean, I've volunteered at Church of the Park. I can assure you, there are plenty of seniors, homeless, who are coming in for services, support, a hot breakfast, that sort of thing. So I feel that, given how broadly worded it is, I would think they could count as one of the partners.
And I know I just shut down Councilor Matthews.
Yeah, you did.
But you don't need to, this isn't rocket science here. You don't need to look too closely. I think someone that works for a nonprofit that serves seniors, close enough.
And we don't need to have the nonprofit saying that they're the representative. Like obviously, like we go somewhere, we're our own person. We also, if we want to go as a representative of the council, we have to have the council tell us that. We don't need to have that type of sign off from a nonprofit to say that.
They may say, we don't want you doing that, but that's up to them to tell their person that.
If we do it this way, we could appoint all 6 of these
That's what I'm saying.
applicants.
Right.
Yeah. So I move that we appoint all of them.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Nordike. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Very true.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's worth pointing out that I believe we've identified Raymond Kelly as being able to fit the business role and Catherine Murray as the community partner role. Am I remembering that correctly?
And Deanna as.
That's what I
business
could
as
use
well.
some help with here, maybe discerning these various positions you were just.
Because it changes their term limits, is that right? No.
Actually,
Business
it,
organization.
well, what's,
Because it says 3 positions for partners representing business organization don't have term limits.
right, and so that does change their,
I'm gonna hand these back to you. Community member,
If we want to be super clear, we could, do a follow-up motion that clarifies. Do we need to do that, Dan, just to identify who we're appointing which role?
For Linda's sake.
Okay.
You don't need a motion, but you guys want to just make it clear.
I'm jotting them down.
Yeah, did you say?
so I had, and I was gonna just hand
and
it
just if you hand it to me, that's great, if
Oh,
y'all wanna
perfect.
agree on it.
Yeah, do you
we'll-
wanna pass it around? And I just put a B for business,
B for
C
business
for
for Raymond
community,
Kelly,
C for community,
and then I have
put
Tapia
P
for,
partner.
Deanna Tapia for business. Kathleen Lemke for community.
Yep.
Okay, we still on the same page?
Yep.
And then Mike Morrow for community.
Mhm.
Okay. Lisa Haynes for community.
And that's it.
And Catherine Murray for partner.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you already mentioned her.
No, I hadn't yet, but yes, that's what I have.
Catherine Murray, community partner.
Okay.
Linda, I hate to, you're gonna quit inviting me to this, which is my goal from saying this.
I'm always happy to have
But I'm looking at the requirements for the 15 members in 20E040, and I don't see any reference to a business owner.
Hmm.
So I'm curious where that requirement's coming from.
I don't see business owner, I see business organization. And I think there's
I
a,
don't see that either.
well,
We'll go in and look for that.
I'm sure I didn't dream it,
It's on that form.
So,
but it
Business
is a
carry
very
over from
different
it.
thing to
Three-
say between faith, community, and business organization.
So you've got, what the code says is
Mhm.
15 members, 7 are community members at large. 6 of those 7 have to be 50 plus. The other 8 are representatives of partners, period.
Okay,
So you don't have to.
So
write it down.
I would move Deanna Tapia to, community partner because she's with a faith-based organization.
okay.
Is that possible?
Damn, you're not invited next time, you're right.
I'm trying to make it easier. Maybe that's half the reason the council's like, these requirements are crazy. Well, it's not in the code, so we just made them up.
Party about, are you trying to make it?
there it is. Okay. I believe I've got it, and thank you very much for clarifying for me. No, I'm grateful.
No, this stuff, this is a tale and I'm going back decades, so this gets jumbled.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I would say you could make Raymond Kelly under community partner because per his application, he advocates for his Medicare clients. So I would say that could make, that's community partner-ish enough for me.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you could fold him in, given that that's his role. He's also at the American Legion, which serves a lot of seniors. So I'd say that's sufficient to be a community partner.
I agree.
Yeah, American Legion gives me a unique finger on the pulse of Salem's seniors. So that looks community partner-y to me.
I
Solid.
feel solid in what I've got here. And I know if I submit the council report for full consideration at the September 8th meeting, one of you will,
Dan will be all over.
Dan will be on. He needs to report before it goes. He needs to wait until-
So now downtown budget report.
Yes, next up is the Downtown Advisory Board. There are 2 vacancies, both council appointments.
Special requirements for this, or?
Well,
Yes.
yes,
It's right here.
always. They're both for the same kind of requirements, but different term limits. One for a full term, one for a partial term for someone representing a business or a property within the or downtown URA.
Okay.
And we have 3 applications, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Could we ask Counselor Nishioka, did you have?
I did look through there, and what I don't know is if the Rubicon Investments is actually located downtown. That was the only question that I had. And if so, I mean, the 2 I looked at was Scott and Abigail, but I didn't know about Abigail's.
I did look, the business is all 3 of them, and they
Okay.
were within the downtown, yes.
Having
Right.
served on that committee, I felt, the concern that I had was on the other applicant. What I didn't know is, for Eddie, if Eddie was, it says that he's a broker, but I wasn't sure exactly where he was located. The 2 that recommended him, if he's in that firm,
He's not,
he's not. So that's the one thing I didn't know.
but I think his office is downtown.
Does he live?
He told me he was going into the building when I pulled up where he said, because I actually emailed him. And he said that the building he was going into is where the Freckled Bee is. What used to be
Oh, really?
located in that building there,
Yeah,
right on,
so
what is that?
I just wondered if he was with Josh Kay and Conrad. If they are gonna be in the same office, then I wasn't sure, because then it might be too many from that organization.
Are they still on there though?
But I don't know, but Josh Kay's term is probably coming to close.
His term ends at the end of this year, I believe.
So then if that's the case, because Conrad works with Ed in that office, so
Mhm.
then it would be 2 of them if Eddie's in that office. That's the only thing I didn't know.
Oh, is
Yeah.
Conrad on it?
Conrad recommended him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Josh's term ends at the end of this year. He's been on for quite a long time.
He came in when I was pregnant.
So is Conrad also on this board?
No.
No, but he
okay.
works with,
In the same office?
Yes.
Got it.
and so that's what I wasn't sure, if there would be, but other than that, that was my only uncertainty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not seeing, I go off what is in the application. The application gives a South Salem home address. It does not identify a downtown business. When I Google him also, it doesn't show a downtown address, and there's nothing in his application that says we're moving downtown. It makes me hard to consider appointing someone when the application as it stands today doesn't say he's downtown or that he owns a business downtown. It looks to me like he's a part of a real estate entity where I guess in some sense you guys would know, I don't, how that works. Are you co-owner?
We
I
are
have no idea.
self-employed,
We're all self-employed.
independent contractor.
And I will add that Scott had applied previously, and he had to be removed because originally the application thought that it was Allied, which is slightly north of downtown. He's now under, he'd be doing it as in his location, and he lives at the condos right there.
He was number 1 for me.
Yes, and he would, yes.
I'm gonna try again to get removed from this meeting.
We're glad and happy to kick you out.
I'm happy to be remove myself from this.
So the DAB is a weird animal because it's a combination of URA and the city, so, but the membership requirements for the real estate developer or banking financial professional, there's 2 members. What the bullet point here on the webpage says, 2 members shall represent real estate development or banking financial professionals, parentheses, at least 1 appointment pays parking fees in the district. That would seem to indicate that the other member doesn't have to have a business or live in the district.
They just have to pay for parking.
If you give me a moment, I can pull the IGA up and really confound it.
Well, and if we're down to, what were those again? Because you've got 2, one that's a banker and a real estate person, or?
Well, let me ask you, so
Property owner.
Scott, I think Scott's I'm comfortable with. Is
Yeah.
everybody kind of on? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're down to just Eddie and Abigail, is that right?
it might help to clarify unless I'm wrong that Joshua Kay and Ernesto Toskovic may currently be in those real estate roles right now.
Well, what about
Slash
Charles?
banking.
And what about
Yes, would be the
Charles?
banking.
That's
Banker.
Yeah,
And then Charles is in a more general one, right? Representing a business or a property owner within the URA. So just to point that out too. Sorry to run.
No.
So if that helps, I think you're trying to fill today these two business or property owners within the riverfront.
So I guess I'm not clear. So do we know if Abigail is a business owner within that area? Because I mean, also theirs is a sunset.
Yeah, she
It's the
was in
same
your
concern.
ward.
Then you look correctly check the business and it was.
Yes, it was, well, I don't have it memorized. I do have the
Rubicon
paper on my
Investments.
desk.
but basically you confirm prior to the meeting whether they have any business applying for these positions. Perfect. I mean, that would be good enough for me. So I like that Abigail has worked on tenant improvement projects. I think that would be particularly helpful because there's a constant state of change in our downtown core. Improvements happening all the time down there.
So am I hearing a motion?
Not yet. I like the recommendations made by Mr. Venti and Mr. Venti, Mr. Weathers, and Mr. Kay.
Oh, okay.
I think those folks are very reputable and
Very invested in
Very
downtown.
I don't see local recommendations for Abigail. But I don't know everybody in town, so.
The
Depends
corporate head,
construction.
oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
The corporate headquarters for Rubicon is 530 Center Street Northeast, number 725 and 610.
That's 30 center.
So is that the Equitable building?
I think that
I think it is, yeah.
Does anybody know the referrals, I guess, from Abigail's, this Justin Hurley, Paul Schultz?
Well, Lori Miller is currently on the Downtown Advisory Board. And she is I believe, the property manager. Is that right for Equitable Building? Yes.
You're all looking, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I would probably go for the other person, I want to see a more broad involvement in boards and commissions. So if Lori's organization already has one representative, I would prefer to see someone else.
How much longer is Lori? Is she in her first? Because the
She
same
has till
argument can be made for
2027.
Josh Kay, but
But Josh is going off at the end of the year.
Josh will be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he not eligible for reappointment?
No, not.
Okay.
at the end of this
Okay.
year.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm fine with, if we're satisfied that his business location qualifies geographically, then I'm fine with that. So
I don't know where it is, but
Well, Linda
it
said she
sounds
looked
like
it
she
up,
looked
and
it
I
up, so
believe
I-
I actually emailed him and he got back to me and he said, we will be going in where the Freckle Bee is.
So
Which is-
I move that we appoint Scott and Betty to the Downtown Advisory Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second from Nordike. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to the Landmarks Commission. Yeah.
This makes this much easier.
I realize it's a lot of
It
paper, but
is.
it
It
seems to
really
be
is.
about the only way to really be able
Yeah.
to
Look at it.
look at it. If
Yeah.
somebody can think of a better way, I'm all in, but.
It's not, I mean, I love to be paperless, but this is way too
It's
complicated
just
for a
so-
single
it's just
laptop
really
screen.
difficult.
No, thank you. It's just not gonna work.
Two vacancies, right?
Next up, yes, Historic Landmarks Commission, 2 vacancies. I'm sorry, can we go back to downtown for just 2 seconds? There are two term limit dates on these downtown advisory boards. One is expiring at the end of this year, so you're gonna turn around and see somebody either saying this isn't for me or requesting reappointment right away by the end of this year, and then another one, which is a full term expiring the end of 2027.
I would make Eddie's expire at the end of the year, only because Scott's applied before and was not selected, so that would be my,
That's solid, I agree.
okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I just got a little lost, thinking about Scott, because I appreciate his sensibilities so much. And he is north of downtown, but he applied as a resident. Is that right?
Because he lives downtown.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's right. Personally.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything on that, Linda?
I do, thank you. Yes. We'll move along here to the Historic Landmarks Commission and one full-term position representing professional, expiring 12/31/27, one partial term, again at large, expiring at the end of this year. So another short term. And we have,
Linda, can I just note that this is actually a mayoral appointment, so this would be the committee's recommendation to the mayor.
we can certainly do that.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear from my fellow.
She'll be drunk with power.
Where's my gavel?
Exactly.
And there's two openings.
Yes.
Well, I would recommend Matthew as the professional. Because he's a remodeler.
Seems like a good fit.
And I believe Kimberly Fitzgerald, who reviewed these as well, had the same sentiments, should you care to hear that from
Oh,
the
absolutely.
liaison to this.
And did she have any thoughts on the other?
Well, she did, she does know him and he has been around for a while, but I know the mayor also might have some considerations with this one as well, so.
Well, and we make recommendations, but that
Oh, wow.
doesn't mean that you
Yeah,
have to appoint anyone, right?
Excellent.
yes.
Any thoughts on either candidate?
Well, I see Mr. McKinley has a great deal of experience, Mayor. He has served on HLC and Plan Commission several times, so, there's no lack of expertise from that particular individual. I see no reason why not to appoint that person.
And if appropriate, I would like to take a little more time with this one. Is that reasonable, or do I need to pick? We have two positions to fill, correct?
That is correct.
And you can fill one and take more time with the other, or pause on both.
Thank
That's
you
a
for
good
that.
thought. Yeah.
Who would fit, where would Matthew Miller fit? Which one?
The
of these?
professional.
Professional. I'd like to, if I'm saying this correctly, appoint Matthew Miller to that position.
Do you want the committee to make a recommendation to you?
That would be
Sorry.
great, sir. Thank you.
I recommend Matthew Miller be position.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, I agree. And I agree. I want to appoint Matthew Miller into the one full-term position representing the professional. Expiring 12/31/27. As to the second applicant, I would like to take more time for that.
Onward. Human Rights
Oh, I
Commission.
forgot.
All right, good job. C.
Well, 5 minutes before the meeting, I learned that there are actually 7 vacancies, not 6, so I don't remember what 1%.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, so our friend Gretchen here is thankfully in the room to, yes.
That's what I was getting at.
What's that? I missed it.
Well, it's just, that's an awful lot of vacancies that usually suggests all is not well.
Right.
Yes.
We've just also been piling up for a while. We didn't take HRC in the last batch and then hadn't had a meeting before. And I had a couple of people resign for new work commitments, a couple of people resign for health commitments. My youth member had been with us her whole 4 years of high school, but is now off to college in California. So we've also just got a batch of happenstances in addition.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So are there 6 adult and 1 student?
That's correct. You currently have 6 adult vacancies and 1 youth vacancy. None of your applicants qualify for the youth, so you could choose to appoint all 6 adults to fill the 6. And then that would just leave us with 1 youth vacancy, if you like.
Would you mind
Oh, yes,
talking to
thank
the
you.
Human
Of
Rights tab
course.
when you have a moment? You
Of
literally
course.
just finished.
No, of course, Counselor, of course.
So I'm counting 7 applicants though.
Yeah, you,
6 positions, is that right?
oh, forgive me. I thought you had 6 applicants. Do you have 7? Did I count wrong? Oh, you know why? I forgot. The other thing is you have somebody in here named Autumn, Breitweiser, who has withdrawn her application.
That's
She-
right, and that was my oversight.
She wishes to focus in other areas of volunteerism, and so she sat with us for a while and then decided to do something different.
Okay.
Yeah. So with Autumn withdrawal, you have 6 currently active applications.
These are also mayoral appointments.
Wow.
I can preview for you, Joaquin will transition off at the end of his term. And that'll leave us with all female except 1.
So is he, yeah, he's also on planning commission.
Yeah, so you'll see a transition from him.
Okay.
It's also on the Chariots board.
Correct. And you'll see a transition from him on that too.
Oh,
Yeah. But I shouldn't speak for him, but I just to alert you, we'll have a increasing gender imbalance.
was he the chair?
He's currently the chair of agency, yes.
A gender imbalance in the realm of 2 more females than males.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be down to 1 male.
Got it.
Oh, we also had a person leave because they did not attend for quite a few meetings. And so then we sent the attendance, hey, we need to see you, and then didn't hear, and so then
Fair enough.
that happened.
I signed that letter.
You did, so that was one of them.
See, my recommendation to our mayor would be to appoint all but the withdrawn application.
I would second that.
I'm slower reader than you guys, but.
I read them last.
I was looking for certain red flags. It was literally
Yeah,
all I
that's
was
also
looking
what I'm
for.
looking for right now.
It's like, oh, I don't
I'm
know
not
if this
saying
is for
anything
you.
per se, so. Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
You know it when you see it.
Are we concerned about gender imbalance, and is there anything we can do about it other than leave the application open for a longer period of time?
There's more vacancies coming up.
Yeah, there could be a couple more vacancies coming up. We could also just be on the lookout for a young person who fits that, who would help us with that too. Jonathan is a great example of a young person who really thrived with us.
Your daughter turns 15 in September.
Hey, she might want to
Hey.
do it. That'd be so fun.
All you have to be is 15?
15 to 21, I think it is.
For the young person spot.
And I've had young people the whole time. It's really neat how consistently that's been filled.
You had Nathan Schmidt, right?
Yeah, we had Nathan Schmidt.
He interned for me on city council.
Yeah, he's lovely. Yeah. That's Beth Schmidt's son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did we make a recommendation that you made a
Accept those
motion?
It's been a move in a
Yeah,
second
accept
so
all.
far.
That's right.
When do they meet the next time?
The Human Rights Commission meets on the 2nd Wednesday of the month as a full commission. So in September, that'll be the 10th. They're also anticipating bringing you a presentation update on September 22nd at your full council meeting.
Council? Yeah, that's good. So will these people be in for that first meeting, September 10th? Or does it take
That's a
more
good
time?
question. Linda, what is your opinion? Do you think that we'd have this on the September 8th
That
city
is my
council
goal.
meeting? Yeah, so then they would be appointed just in time for the September 10th meeting.
Yeah, but we could let them know ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Or does
always
it
in
have-
touch with them and I say, hey, you've been recommended for
Oh, good.
appointment. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I would communicate that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we've also just been inviting folks to meetings all along.
Well, then I am in favor of the recommendation that all 6 be appointed and that we are on the lookout for a to add to the committee.
Was it Counselor Matthews who seconded your motion?
I believe so.
I think it
Yes.
was too.
Yes.
I have Gwen seconding actually.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think Gwen seconded it.
Since
I
she's
may
here.
have.
Since she's present.
Literally nobody remembers.
I've been trying to write those down.
Shane, but I don't know. Yeah.
Motion
We
made by
sound the same.
Nordike, second by,
You guys sound alike.
I remove, I re-move, that's not a thing, but
Yeah.
you know, Dan's like, that's not a thing, like, I can hear you.
you can re-motion.
And here, there's a miniature dance and it sits on my shoulder. That's why I stay out of trouble for most.
That's the background.
Yeah.
Counselor Gwen, would you second that?
Yes, I
Okay, so
second.
we can officially say that it's Counselor Gwen who seconded the motion, and I accept the recommendation to appoint all 6 to the Human Rights Commission. There we go.
Planning commission?
What time is it?
Ooh, a lot of people.
I know, we're getting there, but it's gonna be tight for the 3 o'clock.
I'm gonna be at the Capitol.
We'll have a quick announcement to tack on at the end of your meeting, but it's very brief.
Okay.
Any,
We did have Derek to remove, right? He's in the pocket still.
Derek, yes,
oh, right.
yes, I sent an email about this as well, but, yes, Derek Gilbert, it was determined that he is no longer eligible for the planning commission appointment, so he needs to be removed from the packet.
Gretchen, can you move to
Oh,
the planning?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
Thank you,
no.
of course.
So we're adding the one partial plus Gilbert, or Gilbert is the one partial we're discussing today?
He is not on the planning commission currently.
No, I'm sorry, are we only filling one vacancy? or something?
Yes,
One
the
vacancy, thank you.
one partial term
Okay.
position, yes.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
Derek
then.
Gilbert is out.
Yes, and
Too
Derek
bad,
is
too
out.
bad. No sharp. Let's see. Well, we just appointed, I think we just appointed Jackie Roche to Human Rights.
We
didn't
did.
So I would not I like to mix it up whenever possible. I'm sure she'd be great, but I think one appointment at a time is a good idea.
I would love to see somebody from Ward 4 on. We're very heavy on Ward 7.
Yeah.
Yep,
And I've conceded that in the past. We need more representation from 4 and 5, for sure.
and yeah, we just eliminated Jackie because
Well, if we don't want to consider appointing another Ward 7, then you could eliminate Fraser Wick from consideration, because that person's identified as Ward 7. So is Drew Cornetti. What can I say? There's an embarrassment of riches.
I know.
They love planning commission. I have no idea why. There is a Ward 4 candidate,
There's
an
two.
architect.
There's 2.
Nate
Okay.
Levin.
He owns real estate in town, doesn't he? He's a real estate agency.
And I think he served on the planning commission
Yeah.
years ago.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
There's a limit in the number of real estate professionals. in the commission. I'm not sure what the other numbers.
We have it up here,
On my
Dan.
desk,
You
yeah.
can see where they're from.
So well, Marissa, Ted, and Joaquin, I'm pretty confident they are not real estate professionals.
Joaquin is not, I can tell you that.
I'm pretty sure Marissa is not either. So I
There
mean,
are none right now currently. I had looked at that. Yes, there are none currently on the when Jordan Pruitt.
Yeah.
He was the one real estate.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And I do like the fact that Nate is on the commercial real estate side as well. They have a completely different perspective than residential
Yeah.
and for housing, so because he's gonna look at things like the industrial
Mhm.
sites. But Kevin Jones was my brother-in-law is one of his references, so.
I thought I recognized
Yeah,
that.
so that's my brother-in-law, so.
It's fine.
No,
No,
I'm just gonna look at Dan.
you stand to gain
No.
literally zero financially.
Right.
They are paid just as well as we are.
It aggravates your life, actually.
Yeah. Anyone who signs up for planning commission.
So I seriously would love to see somebody from Ward 4, so I'm gonna say either one of those would be great with me, but.
So I actually like Nathan Levin's quite a bit, but I'm not actually sure if he's in Ward. So I'm looking over here at the 695 Winding Way, but yeah.
Oh, that's not Ward 4, that's 3,
I think that's
yeah.
not a word, which is
Yeah.
obviously, it's fine.
Hey,
Where's his business located?
Maybe that's where.
He does have, I mean, he has properties all over, and maybe it is possible that his business maybe.
Oh, I
'cause he
can't
could
get
live
savvy
in
on my
Idaho.
phone.
well, and the only other thing I would say is we already have one architect.
We do.
So I would love to have a commercial realtor, even though he's not in Ward 4,
Yeah,
so.
Well, I also, yeah, I agree with you. I think that would be helpful. He's retired and these can be very time-intensive meetings. And you have to not get burned out from looking at all that paperwork and candidly, anytime we get something with planning commission, like, oh God, it's just, it's not my area of expertise. And I appreciate someone who has a passion and can look, I mean, their packets are ridiculous, very big and very dense.
well, and he just has, like, it seems like even beyond just his experience of like being a commercial realtor, like he just has a lot of volunteer experience with being on SEDCOR in the past. He's already been on Salem Planning Commission, so he already knows kind of what he's getting into. He was board member of Fay Wright Neighborhood Association, which is one of my neighborhood associations. Like, I think that there's some pieces to say about that.
I could go with either Kevin or Nate, so I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
I'd like to ask Councilor Michelle if she has any input on this decision.
Thank you for asking. I don't, I have met Nathan, and I know that he's been very active in many of the committees, URAs. So he certainly understands how it all works. I too had, when I went through my packet, I picked the other gentleman because he was an architect, and I think with so many codes, you know, I can understand your point, being a commercial realtor, but planning is really making sure you can fit codes, and as an architect, you would understand if you could design around that. So that was why I picked, but simply because I looked at it. But thank you, I appreciate you asking me.
Well, I would say, I'm just looking to see who is expiring soon and will they reappoint or will they seek reappointment or not. We have 2 expiring the end of this year. They can, I think, be reappointed though, if they wanted to be, right?
And one of
Beth
those
and
expires as the
Kaylee.
architect, right?
Yeah,
Yes, and
Kaylee's
they're
in.
both they would both be eligible for reappointment should they be in good standing.
And I didn't have this to
Right,
study,
right.
so I was only going by the applications.
the reason I say that is, you know, sometimes we have 2 really great candidates and we opt to pick one, obviously, but it's helpful to have staff send a nice little note saying, hey, we were very impressed with your application. We encourage you to reapply. We have some upcoming opportunities on this commission again, potentially. So you're not guaranteeing they'll be on next, but you are encouraging them to reapply. So we might want to consider that if we like both of them. I do, I like both. But I'm leaning towards Mr. Levin for reasons that Councilors Gwynn and Matthews stated. So I will move that we appoint Nathan Levin to the Planning Commission.
I'll second.
Second by Gwen. All those in favor?
Aye.
And are we appointing or is this a recommendation?
These are, these will well, we could maybe should discuss this will be a council appointment. But Linda, do we ever figure out what we're doing with interviews, planning commission interviews?
Well, it's certainly something that could be, you know,
Yeah.
you can do it and set it, we can look at dates and figure out and decide, so you could set that as the motion to conduct an interview. I don't think it, based on the recent reading I did, I don't think it's required.
It's not.
This committee's gone back and forth over the years.
Yes, it
over
has.
whether to refer it to an interview or not, and it's really up to our discretion.
We did interviews for budget
And
most
we,
recently, right?
that is right.
And
planning
And planning commission down there. I think I seem to recall us interviewing Joaquin and a couple other folks for
Marissa
planning commission
and-
opportunities.
Mr. Fryback,
Yeah.
If it were up to me, I mean, the two that we've been talking about are the two I'd be interested in interviewing if we're doing interviews. However, it just comes down to preference. I feel like Mr. Levin having the commercial real estate broker experience and has already having an architect on the board, I'm inclined to go with Levin unless the interview, which just escalates really bad, but ultimately that would be, I feel like even with an interview, I'm gonna end up probably in the same spot. And so that's my guess, unless for some reason one of these perform poorly that.
So we're doing, and the interview would happen at council, I assume?
Yes.
And then would be a council vote?
Yes.
So the council rule basically states that whether an interview is conducted is up to council. So you can you can make a recommendation to council on whether to do an interview or not. And then council would actually make the decision on whether to schedule interviews. Might be a rule we want to tinker with. It's an efficient process.
Yeah.
It is highly inefficient.
So that would be part of my council report then, that would go on the
Appoint
8th.
or conduct interviews.
Yeah,
Mhm. Would that fall as a special report or a consent agenda item?
It depends. I mean, but that's an alternative. We probably do it as a special order of business because
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. And see who pulls it, you know, could we present it with our recommendation that we appoint without interview?
Yeah.
And that way, if anyone else on council raises a fuss, all they have to do is,
They have the opportunity. to
yeah,
discuss
it's
it.
already under, if it's a special order of business, it's already gonna come up anyway, and we can just talk about it then, and if there's no fuss, no fuss.
So under consent, and then if someone pulls it.
Special, it'd be under special
So
order
there's
of
no
business.
so it's just
No
on there. And so the council president would, make a motion. Here it is really a sort of a alternative. So the council president would probably forward on the committee's recommendation. So if you're going to say appoint Mr. Levin without an interview, that would be the committee's recommendation, and then the council could decide whether to do that or do an interview.
Okay. So do we need to change anything that we just did? Make a motion to send it to council?
Has there been a vote?
Yeah,
We did.
Okay, so I think we're fine. The minutes will reflect the process.
Okay.
Commission, a full-time position, at large.
I'd like a moment to just see who's on it. Historically, Public Art Commission, it's been helpful to appoint a little more variety, and I feel like a broken record, and I'm kind of curious why we haven't seen this come back to us already from Moss Adams. I mean, we talked about changing these bizarre special membership requirements a while ago.
I take responsibility for that. That's just workload and.
Most items that's cited the bill, why not they're done,
Okay,
and it's now up to us to carry forward.
All right.
Yeah, our bad. But
well,
we-
you are busy. I mean, it's
But
like
we
hard
do.
for me to say, you guys are stretched super thin, we need to clone each of you, obviously.
Thanks for
Um,
bringing it up though, Councilman Woodard.
Yeah,
Well, candidly, as much as I love having, the city attorney here, I do wonder if you could delegate having one of your deputies, provide legal advice during these committee
See, I'm getting
meetings.
myself kicked out of here.
Well, I'm trying to help. I
like
mean,
it.
it's not, nothing we do in these meetings is earth shattering. I don't know,
I would miss.
that's up to you. That's how you run your office. It's not within my
I actually
purview.
didn't show up to these for the longest time, and someone drafted me.
Oh, I
Only
get it.
because of my sabbatical to UD and coming back and being very rusty at this, and obviously I still am, but we're getting there.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We are so close.
Well, I apologize for getting too deep in the weeds. How you guys run your respective departments is not with my purview as a counselor.
I have a personal recommendation for this seat. Jesus Escobar
That was my choice.
is an artist, and he came to me with just a great deal of focus, very genuine, very gentle and kind. And I believe this would do a lot for the commission. I also believe it would elevate him in a way that I think would be important.
Sounds good. Let me just take a quick review. I mean, all that sounds great. I see he serves on World Beat Gallery Committee. That's great.
Traverse Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Still have my membership there.
He's a member of the Latino Business Alliance as well.
Oh, nice. That's a feather in his cap. I want to at least do my due diligence
Of
and look at the
course.
other
I'm
candidates.
sorry, I read all of them.
I can see that.
I
Show
poured
off.
over them.
She's a glutton.
No, I do read them. I just might not read them until this moment. That's all.
Take your time.
We're
It doesn't
not
need to
judging.
be
You
a
have a-
rush.
No, it's all good. I think it's helpful for me to know if any of my colleagues here are looking at specific someone. Well, I concur with your recommendation, Madam Mayor. And that's your recommendation.
So I'd say, I mean, my original thought was that we should not go with someone that we already have boards for, just because we don't have 5, 4, or. But in terms of reading through them all, I tend to agree that I still think Jesus is kind of the best one of the options we have, even beyond the board thing. And so, even beyond the fact that my original feeling was that we should be a little more diverse with our wards, I think it is the best applicant we have in front of us.
True.
So is that a motion?
Well, let me just add that, or make a motion, I'm gonna add something if you.
I move to appoint Jesus Escobar to this commission.
Second, we have a motion and a second by Noda. Well, can we discuss?
Yes.
Thank you. The other piece I would add to Jesus and his application is that he has been not a nuisance, but persistent in following up and asking about when. I think he's really excited about it. So if I feel
I do
really-
love that. I can assure you that is,
Me too.
I do love that.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that's that.
And Mayor Boyd, I apologize, I have a 2:30, so so that's why I was like, okay.
If I can hold you for just a
Nothing wrong with
moment,
that.
I just want to announce that I'm adding some questions to the Community Police Review Board application that help us learn a bit about and get permission to do a criminal records check. That's already in Salem Revised Code, is something that you can consider as you consider applications. So we want to be able to provide that information should you wish to consider it. So that's all I have to say.
And is that for all of them?
For all applicants, and then we'll have I've already let our current membership know that we'll ask them to go through that process.
So that's just for the.
Just for Community Police Review Board,
Got
forgive
it.
me. Yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of that.
And Gretchen, I mean, I can understand wanting to do a criminal background check, but is CPRB recommending a hard, fast rule like no felons, no misdemeanors, or I'm just curious?
No recommendation, just wanting to have that information for you all to consider as you look at
Okay.
it. Yeah. Yeah, if things come up, we may have things to recommend for you, like can they qualify to go on a ride along? Because that's, the bylaws currently require a ride along, for example, so there may be
Interesting.
certain like violent felony backgrounds that may disallow someone from doing that. So, I don't know if you look like you might wanna add.
No.
Okay,
you
yeah.
covered it.
I served on Marion County Sheriff's Citizens Advisory Committee many years ago, and we did have the lived experience of a person who had, when she toured the jail, it was not her first time touring the jail, and her expertise was really invaluable.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to have a balance. There's some felonies, I mean, they're not all created equal.
Yeah.
But you know, to me, encouraging folks with lived experience who can meet those criteria, I mean, that's invaluable for a police review board specifically.
Very good, and then we can bring you that information for
Yeah.
discussion.
That's just something I just an aside, like, you know, I mean, to me, in some respects, like, you know, when for my nonprofit, I would love to have more people with lived experience in the foster care system volunteer with us.
Yep.
You know, I mean, they see it through a light that I will never see personally,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Thank
Just
you,
a thought.
Councilor Nordick, for sharing that. I think if there's nothing else. We are adjourned? No?
Yes.
Yes, we are.